Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day because I am having a beautiful day. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna go over just some behind the scenes stuff of the Artemis quest today. Forgive me if things don't. I know who even is streaming. Uh, um, Hi, hello. I'm just gonna go over a couple, like behind the scenes stuff of the Artemis quest. Uh, if obviously most of you went on the quest, so you'll probably see things that you did already. I'll probably go over things because there are things that pretty much each group didn't notice. Oh, I should maybe turn that down. Um, so if you see things here that you've already seen, my bad, but I'm sure there will be something that every group missed at least once or twice. So stick around if you're watching the VOD. Hi, welcome. Sorry that I made it such a weird time, but this is a good time for me. So yeah, just to get things out of the way, Artemis is my favorite god. I love Dionysus so much, but Artemis is definitely my favorite. This is peak. Okay, my bad. I don't know. Stream. I don't stream very often. Okay. So this quest was kind of like my love child, my love letter to Artemis, and I've been playing her for the last 2 years on OSMP, and I have not seen. Oh, I guess I've got four on my thing, but that's just four people I'm following. Um, so yeah, I've got Artemis's playlist on Spotify in the background because it felt very on theme. Um, I love her so much. I'm really excited to be able to share her with you guys and share, everything that I did for the quest. We'll also go over the commands. I went through and counted them. I said a lower number the other day when somebody asked me how many command blocks there were. There are 349 command blocks in this quest. Most of them are just resetting, but that's still a lot. I didn't feel like that many when I was making it, but yeah, I know. That is a lot of command blocks, so I'm not gonna go through all of them. Yeah, but I will go through just what most of them do. One for every day of the year. Yeah, basically. Thank you so much. Um, I've been working on this quest for a lot longer. I know that I said like mostly it started on Oblivion, but building really started once Oblivion was going on. Thank you so much, Trickster Gaming. Also forgive me if things are weird. This is the first time I've streamed in a long time, and I'm kind of anxious. So anyway, welcome. I'm gonna show you now welcome to my desktop. I have a little cat in the right hand side. He's adorable. Um, honestly, while I know that everything starts in the game, obviously, this quests for OSMP really start um in the lore doc. I'm not gonna pull up the lore doc for you guys. I'm so sorry. Monitor captures on purpose, I swear. um Everything starts in the lore doc with OSMP. I can't pull up the lore doc for you guys. Obviously, because there's too much stuff in there and I will ruin everything. Um no. I know that Trickster Gaming would love that, but I will not. So but I will pull up what I did for this quest is I did make a separate document just because there was so much going on to organize my thoughts. And I'm gonna pull up that for you guys. Stuff. Okay, so this is the lore document. It's like 3 tabs long. There's not hundreds of pages, but it's not that long. It's just this is everything that I've done for the quest. This is obviously not this is the setup for the rooms that I ended up deciding on. Um this is not the setup for the rooms that I first started with. This is the setup for the rooms. There was supposed to be 9 rooms. I think there's only 7 now. But as you can see, I used the like version thing to go back and show you that May 20th is when I started this document. Um, so yeah, it's been a while since I've been working on this. Originally there was supposed to be quite a few rooms. There was supposed to be more to do in the garden. The Athena and Artemis garden was supposed to it's not what I have. Oh, okay. So, and I'll go over all this in a minute. Um what we really started with was, like there's 9 rooms. Um Most of them are mirrors of each other, so I think that down here you can see that like the Athena room was supposed to be the original Athena room, there was supposed to be hi, I'm music. It was supposed to be a mirror of the Orion room, which is, you know, Orion falls in love with Artemis in one of the rooms. There was supposed to be one where Artemis becomes friends with Athena in one of the rooms. That was supposed to mirror the Orion room. The doors mirror each other now, just because building in Quest and, you know, making puzzles and stuff didn't really hi Baxter. Baxter wants to becomes friends with. um, it just didn't work out that way. I also wanted, you know, we have that royal garden, which the unattainable garden originally was called the unattainable garden. I ended up switching it to royal garden. Hi Pax, they say hi Bassor. I know they can't hear you because my microphone hates you. I'm so sorry. um but it was originally the unattainable, and then I switched it to royal just because it's easier to fucking say. um I was gonna build a separate garden for every single, you know, throughout the quest. I don't know if everybody caught this. um More people appear in that garden, that yellow garden. um I think most groups did catch that. Also unattainable would have been so hard. Yeah. But originally I thought that I was going to have to build 3 versions of it for the different, you know, what was in there. I didn't do that because that would have been a pain, and also I don't even know where I'd place that in the world. Um so I just built one, and then I ended up with command blocks that spawn in Apollo and Athena as you go through the quest, really driving the message home of the feeling of unworthiness. Absolutely. See, Trickstar Gaming is here with his textbook. Trickstar Gaming understands. And then we have the Demeter room. The Orion room was supposed to be an Athena mirror, and these were just little notes for me, so I remembered to build the doors the right way. I did. In the end, you will see that one of the doors I did end up messing with a little more, so these two didn't really end up as mirrors as each other. There was originally supposed to be a room for her time spent as a no, you didn't miss the death room. It just didn't end up making it into the final cut. Um, there was originally supposed to be a mortality room as well. That didn't end up making it into the final cut, but it was going to be about Artemis's time in season 1, I believe, of, you know, being immortal and how confusing that feels. That would have been really command heavy, really season 1 lore crumbs, yes. About her time, you know, like after can't remember why she ended up mortal anymore, if I'm really honest. I think because music killed her. Music, that's your fault. Music killed her, and then she became mortal. And then Athena was like, you should stay this way. Definitely not because it drives you crazy and will physically ruin your brain. That would have been cool. I feel like that's kind of, yeah. How could you, music? That's a real, exactly. It was mentioned very briefly, but it wasn't like to the extent, exactly, hashtag blame music. It wasn't mentioned to the extent that I wanted it to be. I know I really, really wanted to spend time talking about that because I feel like it does get glossed over in her story as well. Um, but unfortunately there just wasn't really time. So that ended up, there also was supposed to be multiple versions of the Artemis and Athena Blue Garden. Oh, can't like that. That didn't happen just because the quest was getting long, and I didn't want it to be, oh, that's so cute. I didn't want it to be too long. It was already getting really long. Like that quest is 4 hours long. Um yeah, my bad. Um, so I did shorten it, and you know, that ended up with cuts of the cracked version of the garden, the corrupted version of that garden, the mortality room, the death room. Um, that got shortened, so that's what happens at the end of the Dionysus room that we have. So it kind of got mixed in with the Dionysus Orion stuff. But yeah, so also there was supposed to be a room that represented the loss of in season 2, after, you know, she stops kind of being Athena's favorite for a while. There was supposed to be time for that. That didn't end up in the final cut. But yeah, so since May 20th, I've been working on, well, you know, thoughts before that. Um, but yeah, this was the original plan, and then it kind of got brought to a little bit of a different version of that, and we have lots of tabs and the setup of the quest, and you know what to do when running the quest. But yeah, uh, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I do wish we spent more time talking about the mortality thing. Sorry, my hand slipped is crazy. um, but in the end, I was really happy with it. So yeah. Um, there were a couple people who helped me with the quest, and I'll mention them as I go along. Um, and I can't show you the lore thing, but the point of the quest, outside of just, what I wanted for Artemis specifically was just to be like, hey, people need to interrogate Artemis, find a couple clues, which I did realize later that I forgot to put in clues. So we're gonna have to find other places to fit that in Olympus official lore. I'm so sorry to the God team. I wanted a harder boss fight. The fact that it wasn't super epic adds a somber feeling at the quest a lot more. Yeah, yeah, it's a little awkward. I did. I wish I could have a harder boss fight. What I really, really wanted to do, if I'm super honest, was add a whole separate mod. I could not do that. Not necessarily that I couldn't, I just really didn't ask. I didn't feel like I should ask. Now that I think about it in hindsight, I absolutely could have added an extra mod just for a boss fight if I really wanted to, if I had done the research. Um, well, I didn't have a specific mod in mind. It was just like, oh, like I could add because I'm not good at coding mob AI. That's not my thing. I don't really understand that. I'm more of a commands, yeah. But maybe in the future I will suggest they do that for other OSMP quests. So maybe keep an eye out for that. I'm not quite sure Born in Chaos. I will look that up as soon as I'm done. Oh god. So yeah. We're gonna go ahead and open up Minecraft now, and I'm just gonna kind of run through badges. Oh, you guys seem scared of that mod. I'm really writing that down. Thank you so much, Chiquisman. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and open up um Minecraft, and then I have to do that in a very specific way. I don't want to actually display capture Minecraft. I'm just going to Okay, now it's actually Minecraft. Thank God. We're done with display capture, Trickstar Gaming. You can be less scared. The mod we had in Oblivion that killed everyone. Oh, I didn't see that. It's just busted. I see, I see. It'd be really awkward if I could get on the server right now. That would be kind of unfortunate. Okay, cool. I'm in Vanish. I'm gonna stay in Vanish just because I prefer being in Vanish when I'm working on things because it keeps me a little bit, less. Oh, it's raining. How wonderful. Okay. It keeps me a little bit less bothered. I'm also gonna, I think that Ash is probably around and I don't want to disturb what they're doing, so I'm just gonna deafen in case we hear anything. This gets blocked off at the end of the quest. We'll go over why that happens later. Um, Obviously the first thing that we built for the quest was the Artemis Temple, and that's going to be everything that includes outside of it, that the sparkly tree line we have to keep out Zeus and Hera and Apollo. I really wanted this sense of, yeah, there's like an area you can go to, but then there's the inner chamber. Oh, I don't know what she's questioning. There's the inner chamber, right, and then there's the even more closer. This has been blocked up since the beginning of the season. That's crazy. That's a weird mod. Just because I've been working on it since the beginning of the season. This is obviously my favorite place on OSMP. I will admit I'm definitely super biased about it. I love this place. This was the ceiling. I got a lot of comments on the ceiling. It was the first thing to be done. I love like that starry night sky. The first thing I will mention that I don't think any group really noticed, because why would you? It's just something that I did super attention to detail, is if you look really closely, you'll see that there is the constellation Orion in the sky. That was the last touch that I added to this roof, but the roof was the first thing that was done. That's Orion, yeah. um, so that is my favorite part. That's my favorite little detail that I added just for me. Um, so yeah, obviously, there's lots of areas in the rooms that I have perfect. That's new. I'm sure a lot of people didn't see that because I just added it. So you didn't miss that. Thank you. Um, it's so pretty. I love this place. So yeah, that was the first thing that got finished. I don't remember. Oh, by the way, the place to get through the barrier blocks is above this lily. That was a second thing to be done, is I took a cross. Oh, hi. I took a cross stitch pattern and I used it in Minecraft. Hi, Ash. Um, so yeah. Um, I think M and Music helped with this, I think, I believe. I think music, and vamp helped. Um, just to like really help me get this done. All of this was just brushes, and then we had to place the vines by hand because the glowberry vines I couldn't. Yes, shout out music and Ken. There's a lot of shout outs to music and Ken, and obviously my lovely wife. Um, music helped me with a lot of the building. Well, not a lot, but she definitely helped with a lot, and I love music to death. Um, so yeah, that was the first thing that got built, and then I went and turned to, okay, what are objects like, or like, moments in Artemis's life that would be the most important, right? The most. I'm gonna turn the music down because I'm a little distracted by it. Um, like what's the most important things to her? What really built Artemis as a character? Um, and so I obviously started with the birth room. I'm gonna have to break through these walls because I did do stuff downstairs earlier, and so these walls are not usually filled in, but they are right now. We have the tree, which is just it's a trap chest that places a command block. It's a whole thing. Once you've opened both the chests, Artemis Quest has to be my favorite for lore. How heavy it was. The changing rooms that are I think it was the first of the birth room. Yeah, I really did like the birth room. I tried I knew that somewhere, unfortunately, I had to have a maze. I know. Oh, Hunter Even skin reveal. Hunter Even's been around for a while. I don't think she's been around. I never really showed her to anybody, but yes. So yeah, I'm actually going to really quickly, so sorry, I'm gonna pin that there so that I can actually read things. Um these these doors don't open until both chests have been opened, just because I was really, really, really worried about people leaving the saplings behind. The moon seed and the other thing. Excuse me. Um the sunseed, I was so stressed about it. Only one group did, but they happened to have you would never complain about mazes, don't lie to me. Yeah. uh I was really worried. Only one group ended up actually missing it, and they had Vixley. Thank God for Vixley. So I just messaged Vixley. I was like, please go pick up that seed. I think I like came down and vanished and handed it to them. So yeah, I was given a cinnamon roll earlier. So yeah, what I really wanted, and I definitely could have thought more into what this room should have been, but I wanted that feeling of, if we go back to, oh, I see a problem that I've made is that now I cannot show you the other screen easily. So we're gonna reorganize my captures right now. There we go. Here's what's gonna happen. So as we go through the quest, we have the quest document, and that has a page for every room. Thank you, Trickster Gaming. Uh, this is the birth of the twins. Each one of these pages starts with what Artemis is feeling and what the point of that room is for her. And then just a list of like what I was building. This is when I was first planning. And then like what the players do kind of down here. Um, I don't think this is completely updated because as I built, I realized things needed to be changed. Things wouldn't work with commands. Um, M and one of M's friends got on the server, I think the day before the quest released, and I had them run the quest with Vamp. Hi, Baxter. I know you want so much attention. It's not about you. Your name is not Artemis. Um, to run the quest, and we realized that that room downstairs, um, the forest or like the farm room, the way that I had it set up just straight up didn't work. There was too many things that the heroes could do wrong and break it completely. And still by the end of it, for sure, like there were things where every single time you guys went into that room, I went into Vanish because I was like, I just need to be there in case something goes wrong. I think that was the biggest challenge. But yeah, so things changed while I was working on them, and so this isn't always completely updated. Um, but yeah, so the birth of the twins is really about Leto, obviously, who broke most things as far as I remember. Oh god. I think, well, okay, what I will say is that it was definitely group 1, but not it wasn't their fault that they broke the most things. It was specifically because that was the second round it had happened. So it wasn't necessarily them breaking things as it was me realizing certain things don't work. Um I didn't. Uh, like when they went down there for the first time, a couple of the doors didn't open because I had set up commands incorrectly for the reset commands. About half of the command blocks I will like probably half. There's no way it's less than that. Um of the 350 command blocks that I have are just to reset the quest. Um Definitely one of the things that I have noticed we struggle with the most on OSMP for the mod team is resetting those quests and running them easily. That's really difficult just because you want to give everyone the same experience. And resetting the quest, like if you don't know every single detail of the quest, especially since, like I definitely took lead on this quest. And I didn't share every single detail of what I was doing with. Oh, thank you, Ash, for the follow. Welcome in. Um, Working with, resetting the quest, especially if you don't know the quest fully, is a little bit more difficult. So that's why we have, I have a whole page on running and cutting up the quest here. Um, so the ease of use and replayability, yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, half those command blocks are just resetting the quest for the next group and making it easier for the mod team to do their job. But anyway, I just realized I didn't click that. Hi, thank you, Ash. So yeah. Um, this was the Artemis thing. The thing about Leto is, like I really had to stop and think, like, what did it feel like when Leto had the kids, right? And it was this thing of, oh, I'm gonna have these kids. Hades, are you still here? Hades better still be here. Leto really believed that when she had her children, they would immediately be welcomed on Olympus. Um, she thought that Zeus was in love with her. Unfortunately, that wasn't really the case. It's something that I think we went over with one of the groups that Artemis does not forgive Zeus for. Not necessarily Hera, because Hera was a woman scorned, but more Zeus. Yeah, Leto got gaslit. But more Zeus for, convincing Artemis's mother, hey, I'm in love with you. Like, you're going to be the queen of Olympus, bear my children. And then turning around and being like, oh, now that my wife is mad at me and you, I'm gonna let you get tortured, basically, and be pregnant forever, which is awful, and Artemis less than forgiving Hera for that. She hasn't forgiven Zeus for that. So I really wanted it to be, and there were probably ways I could have gone better about this, I'm sure. But I wanted it to be just like, oh, like it's probably really simple. You take the saplings, you put them on this grass block, and that's the end of it. And then, yeah, and then you're tricked and you're gaslit and you fall down into this place. I'm gonna give myself night vision effect. Ooh, I don't know. Night vision infinite, one true. We're just gonna go down, and then it slowly gets. I really liked this gradient that I added. It's a really quick thing. You don't see it because you pass by. Oh, you didn't see the tripwire. I'm so glad. I was worried. I wish the tripwires were harder to see. I really do. I thought it was tied to taking the sapling out of the chest. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope less people notice the tripwire than I did. All I do is just, whatever. Um, this gradient, I worked really hard on this. For some reason, this was harder for me than the rest of the builds, like, at all. Don't know why. So yeah, we're gonna go into spectator so we can really see everything here. This maze, is also here. This maze is also here. I don't know that this map is accurate, if I'm really honest with you. We don't make a map for every maze. I try to when I build mazes, just because, like, I try to be able to go through them really quickly. Um, there were definitely ways I could have gone better about this. The plan originally was that when you set off something, when you opened the chest, it looks right. It looks right to me, yeah. Uh, even if the map's inaccurate. What's the point? I don't know. Okay, this was what I based it, because when you're building a maze, it's a little harder than I think it is in my mind. It's difficult. And just having that path laid out. So this is basically what I built the maze off of. And then after that, like I edited, like there's a room here that I have for command blocks, so I just blacked that out and then I put a red dot on all the chests. Um so yeah, it's like the draft. So that's the point. It's not really the map as much as it is the draft. um so yeah, originally I was thinking that once you opened the chests, I would give you blindness or the dizzy one. I think we used it for drunk season 1, but it's not that. It's like nausea, I think. Um So yeah, that's like nausea. But like you would get those. Who's getting drafted? Hopefully nobody. Um, these are Hera's heads. I don't think a lot of the groups did not know these were Hera's heads originally. Um, so that was kind of, I don't know, you did. They got for Trickstar Gaming, and so it was a little bit more of, there were a couple things I wanted to do here that didn't end up getting done. I think that the message still got across, but it was, but in Canon I don't, so I prompted Misty. That's funny. And they said AF. That's hilarious. Yeah. I struggled getting the heads because I needed, hi Finn, welcome in. Um, Hera, my girl, I didn't remember if you said anything. I corrected. Yeah. Um, so when you open up these, originally it was supposed to be when you open up the chest, um, Hera's head appears and you get darkness and you get nausea and things spawn. Um, Unfortunately, just with the redstone, I didn't figure that out the way that I wanted to, so it just revealed Hera. If I could do this again, I would definitely put more effort and more commands into that. All of the command blocks are... Oh, you can't see them from here because they're... I'll go into creative. Game mode creative. We're just gonna go down and you can see... These are the command blocks that summon. That's all. There's only that many. They just summon things underneath. So you've got, oh, this reveals Hera, and then you have ones that, why are there so many? This is just what they, because I know that there's a way to summon multiple, but sometimes I summoned like different. This one is all wither. Oh no, this is a witch and wither skeletons one, and so I just had them all set so I could paste them in and then edit what they said. Um, so yeah. Um, and it really, I wanted it to be, I wanted to add a boss bar that slowly ticked down with a timer, so you felt rushed the way Leto might have felt rushed. You know, like rushed to give birth to protect your children, right? And in the end, I didn't do that. One, because boss bars are annoying to figure out, and two, because I realized that I didn't want to force you to get, I didn't know what to do if you guys didn't make the timer, is actually really what it was. Like, I'm not gonna not let you do the rest of the quest because you missed the first timer. So there was no timer. I think that if there was a timer, it would have, you know, given a little bit more of a I don't know if I know how to do that. So we might not do that, but yeah, never mind. Um it would have given him more of a sense of urgency. That music plays at the beginning. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of people noticed it because it like it gets really loud and then it gets quiet. Where is it? But that this plays. I don't know if you guys can actually hear the game right now. I think you can. This plays, and I thought that was pretty. You know, I thought that was very. You can turn off text chat using chat settings. Right, we can. Okay, cool, awesome, amazing. I'm so glad. Yeah, that goes off, but then also I told people to turn up in the rules. I was like, hey, make sure the discs are audible, but also turn them down because in some of the rooms they get loud. I wasn't really sure, so you know, that's how that went. But what I really wanted to get across was, you know, that feeling of like panic. I think a timer really, really would have helped. I think I didn't really start spawning mobs into the end. I wanted to be more of like, I'm sneaking around trying to hide from Hera. I'm sneaking around trying to hide from the mobs, not necessarily they're just spawning on me, right? Like I'm trying not to trip Hera's attention. I don't want her to see me, right? Um, so yeah. And then so yeah, that was the plan. That was the goal, really, was that feeling. What if we had a warden skulk through the hallways? Yeah, I was thinking that at the end, and I was so mad that I didn't do it because I was watching you guys walk through the hallways around that garden. I don't remember. I think it was you and music, actually, Trickstar. I was watching you walk around those hallways, and I was like, damn, like they're just sneaking and they're not getting that guy's attention. Like I could have done that. Yeah, I felt so dumb, but whatever. The past is the past. I can't change it. These trees growing is definitely another one of my favorite things. I don't know how to turn off settings. I'm sure that Trickstar Gaming just tried to tell me. You can turn off text chat using chat settings. Options, chat settings, chat hidden. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Trickstar Gaming. I had to scroll for that one. Oh, I loved that. Yes, the trees growing, that was my favorite, like my favorite thing to animating things in OSMP has definitely been something that I try to do a lot. Like making things feel like they're moving with the command blocks. I did it a little bit, I think remember in season 2, if you've been to, was it just done with a yeah, it was. I'll show you guys the commands in a second if you want to see them. Um, but like I think in I got the idea from in season 2, Dionysus has that like vineyard that he has a wall around and there's that like gate that goes up and down that he doesn't want Athena to get through. And in that, I got rid of one row of fences at a time on the gate so it looked like it was going up when really it was just disappearing. So I got the idea from that. I had a little bit of trial and error. Ooh, I don't know what the hell I just did. Disabled client options. What are you talking about? Oh, I see what's happening here. I cannot use hold F3 and press. I'm scared. Oh my god. Oh, how do I accept it? Ma'am? Yeah, it helps. We won't go in creative, but um does it not go? Well, I don't know. Am I doing it wrong? Am I an idiot? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna turn chat back on and just make it really small, maybe. Chat settings, chat size, and then just show it. Does that work? Yes, it does. Okay. Beyond Sag. I can make it small though. I went through a bit of a trial and error with this. Originally, I think the entire like tree stem grew and then the leaves came out of it. I didn't really like the way that looked. I think what I ended up with is like as the stem grows, the leaves go out. I don't remember. Um, we can look actually. I can get rid of this and we can just see how it works. Oh, and I can just show you pretty much all of the hoppers worked in a way where I was like, this is what the inside of these hoppers look like, which is why if you put like this in here, it doesn't go because they're locked. That's, I'm sure most people know how to work that. Anyway, moonseed goes in. Can I please have the moonseed? Thank you. Oh, oh, the redstone back here isn't cleared. So that happens with some other stuff. We'll regrow Artemis now. Here we go. We'll just grow moonseed like this. I really did love this. It made me so happy. It took a lot of work. This is the command blocks that just for this whole room, basically. These command blocks spawn other, chains of command blocks going on. It's a whole thing. Um, but yeah, I'll show that in a second. So yeah, and then the kids are born. Shout out to Mobster for building these rooms. I had no idea what to put in here. I just knew you guys deserved loot rooms and you needed a way out. Um, so shout out to Mobster for being like, just use a goddamn wart pad. That was really, I love command blocks. I think I may like command blocks. I was telling Vamp this earlier. I think I may like command blocks more than I like, barrier blocks, which is shocking for me. So. um so yeah, I hope everybody picked these up. I threw these in here. I feel like this is probably the best um loot that I put in the thing just because you can do anything to these. You can enchant them with anything you want and they never change. They'll always be swiftest one, which is nice. I was gonna upgrade them and then I didn't know and I didn't want to spoil it by asking Trickstar Gaming. It has no protection value. You can enchant them. I think you can basically you can merge these with your other boots and keep everything no protection value. No, you mean what? There's no armor bars. Ah! Hey, you're so right about that. I don't know what I did about that. That's really unfortunate. And if you guys bring them to me, once I figure out how to fix them, I'll fix them for you. Because I didn't know that was a thing. That was not intentional. I have no idea. I just fucked that up. If I'm really being dead honest with you. But if you bring them to me and I figure out how to fix them, I will fix those for you. um yeah, but yeah, that was an accident if I'm really being honest with you. Um But yeah, shout out to Mobs. Mobs decorated these rooms. I wanted it to just kind of be like, you know, Leto may be hiding from Hera a little longer than just when they were born. So they grew up in these two rooms, right? Um, or just, you know, like representations of them growing up, right? So yeah, let's get into command blocks, which is my favorite part. This is the first room that has like a lot of in-depth command blocks. So let's get into that. Um, this gets set off when you enter the room. There's a tripwire that just sets this redstone block. This is usually in here and it sets this off. That's not a really big thing. Growing Artemis. So it's literally just you set the block and then just the wood grows. So the wood would grow, the wood grows another block higher, it grows another block higher, and then there's a follow-up command that adds the leaves. Another block higher, the leaves. I think this okay, and then once both trees have been grown, because most of the groups did the trees right, like one right after the other. I was worried that people would just grow one and then be done. So these last two command blocks will set this. And what this is this redstone will hard power this wool. The wool will activate all of this, which we'll go over in a second. But unless they're both here, the rest of this doesn't happen. This okay, again, what I said about most of the redstone blocks or the command blocks just being the wool delays this. So this gets set by I think Artemis's tree growing, right? This redstone right here. This wool gets set by Apollo's tree growing. So if you don't grow both trees, none of this happens. But I'll just set that off right now because it doesn't matter. Like I said earlier, most of the command blocks used are just to reset the quests. All this does is it replaces when you guys. Oh, I think when M and Vamp and her friend were going through, I realized that the pressure plate staying there was a problem because you would just spawn monsters after monsters. It would just fill the hallways with monsters, and then they would start spawning their own monsters because of the pressure plates. So the pressure plates disappeared once you set them off. This replaces the pressure plates, replaces the blocks that Hera's heads hide behind. And what does this stuff do? I added this later. Oh, this is just the pressure plates again. So yeah, this, though, that whole setup right there and this whole setup right there is just resetting. That happened during the files. Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. Um, so yeah, this is, and then once you grow both the trees, we remove the bars on both sides. So this one I think is Artemis, this one is Apollo. Uh, this opens the Demeter door. So the way that I did it so that the temple opened doors for you is during every single quest, one of your actions would open the next door. So they were all blocked in case in case heroes wanted to run around and just open all the doors and see what they could get through. There is a way to play the quest where you never really talk to Artemis and you just find out which doors are open. And you don't talk to her about it and you don't question her about anything. That's why the last one didn't have a thing. Yeah. Um so yeah, close the twins door, close it. Oh, and this closes the door that you guys walked through the first time, so you guys can't go through again. There's no other door to open. Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, that's that. And then you go through here. And that's just a little sneak. Most of my commands were pretty repetitive. I don't think that I did anything too crazy. Um, I do this tree trick again in the forest area. I love speedrun tech. Um, but yeah, where does this go? Did I break this earlier? Oh, the hallways. Obviously there's a pressure plate that spawns skeletons. It can only do them once. The garden. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much to Music for, oh, it's so pretty with shaders. This is the first time I've had shaders because, what's it called? Ash helped me figure that out earlier today. And so this is the first time I'm seeing the things I built with shaders. It's so pretty. Um, yeah, sorry. Okay. Thank God for Music. She built this gazebo. I couldn't. I think I was running out of time and it just really needed to get done. And things like this, things that are, you know, like the outside structure, like that architecture, I'm just not great at. I did these walls, I think, and you know, they're relatively simple and they're mostly inspired by something I saw on Pinterest. Like it's not super unique. But this is the garden. I love this garden. Oh, Everyone is here right now. When you start the quest, these two are gone, and it's just Zeus and Hera. And the first time, so let's go over what the garden really is about. Okay, so the garden is supposed to. Are there barrier blocks here? You bitch! Why would you put those there? How dare you? Anyway, um, the first time you stare at the garden, um, it's the same garden every time. It's the same garden every time. The first time you look at the garden, it's right after Artemis is born, right? And I really love the gazebo. This gazebo was so beautiful. Um, it's right after Artemis is born, and only Zeus and Hera are at the table. And what the garden really represents is the idea of being a royal Olympian, of being, we've had the Olympians like in kind of four different sections since the beginning of the server, since season one, with the royal gods, then the water forest, and Hades gods, right? Um, the garden represents this unattainable thing to Artemis, this thing where she cannot join in on being important to Olympus, essentially. Um so and over the course of the quest, it's this thing where she's constantly looking at it through game mode. Can I please? Can I please? Thank you. She's constantly looking in at it. Question: is there an actual garden that exists outside of Artemis thing, or is it metaphorical? It's a metaphorical garden. It is only metaphor. Originally, when I had planned this, I was thinking that if I could, you command block summoning the armor stands like that. Yes, I do. As you go through the quest, the quote unquote temple changes itself to show you what you're looking at. One of those commands is it sets up the armor stands. I have to add the heads manually, and one time I forgot to add a head. Um, that was embarrassing. It was fine because I don't think that group was super like keen to looking in on the garden anyway. Um, so it didn't matter really too much, but yeah. This is the garden. Um, as you go through the quest, you look at it over and over and over again. It's like if I ask Zeus about the garden, they would have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, they'd have no idea what you're talking about. I think one group did ask. It might have been Trickstars, but I think it might have been Looney's. Looney's group, Hatters, are all the hallways the same hallway if it's the same garden? No, but they are built the same. There's one hallway going this way. It's just all the way around. Um, and then you have the back hallway. I don't think one of these didn't get used because you guys only go through it like 3 times, but it's just the walls are sectioned out. And then there's that overlook room that Artemis hangs out in a lot, where she just looks at the garden. And from this place, you can really see that comes later. It comes after the Demeter room. But you can see like from here, I even left you guys, let me hope one again. I left you guys this spyglass in case you wanted to be like, who's over there? I don't think anybody actually used that for its intended purpose, but it was funny to me. Um, but yeah, every time you're passing by the garden and you're noticing someone else in there, it's someone else that Artemis is it's something that she wants to be. You know what oh, the zoom in key. That's smart. Whatever. um This chest here, um, well, that too. That too. That's why the other telescope is there, the one that you can't use, this one. So that is also the point, but I left it in there in case you wanted to use it because that one's not functional. Because I don't have the zoom thing, so I don't know. The thing about the garden is, oh, I didn't even realize I had stream elements set up. That's crazy. Hi Baxter. I know, boy. You poor thing. Um, the thing about the garden. I'm lost. Hold on. I'm so sorry. The thing about hi backstabs too. Yeah, he's around. He's very upset that he can't sit on my lap right now. And that is on me, and I'm a terrible mother for you absolutely can just say perchance. Um, perchance. So yeah, every time she sees the garden, it's her looking in on it on something that she wants. I really, really wanted to drive that point home, that feeling of like, I wanted you guys to feel like Artemis going through this quest. That was my biggest thing, was I want you to go through these things and go through what she went through so you like understand not just like, here's what happened, right? I didn't want to just put lore books for you to read. I wanted to put you in these situations. So this chest is here specifically so that you as the players can see it through the that kind of work because I really wanted to get in the garden. I knew you would. I put this chest here specifically for that purpose. It did work on you. Yeah. I put this chest here because I wanted the players to feel like I need to get in there and I need to have that, right? Like there is something in there for me and I want it. So that's what this chest is here for. There is no way to enter the garden. Somebody asked about that. I want it's 100% the quest. Exactly. And you can't because Artemis can't. Um, so yeah, there is something in here. Yeah, there's it's called Athena's crown just because that's what it's called in the files, but it's just the crown. Which I felt was kind of pearl glitch. How dare you? It's just the crown. It's a little symbolic too. I wanted to rename it, but then I decided it didn't matter because nobody was getting in here anyway. So, but yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to pick that up. So yeah, that is there specifically to make you feel like her. I'm really, really glad it worked on you. I was really proud of that idea. That was the only thing I was certain about this garden. Shout out to Music for building the gazebo and Loose. Loose did most of the actual garden. Also it doesn't snow in here because there's barrier blocks because I was afraid of weather. Um, Also, Trickster Gaming, this is the bird that you got for Artemis. I just made it stop glowing because I felt like it was distracting. Um, but yeah, yeah, he's in here. I'm glad you saw him. Um, Luce built the garden. I had no idea what the hell to do with the inside of the garden. I don't know how to make a royal garden. Um, so yeah, Luce did that for me, and I really appreciate them. I think that I'm probably lagging right now. Let me open up. 1 second. Pardon me. I'm kind of getting a little slowed down every once in a while. Shout out Luce. Yes, shout out Luce. We love Luce. Um, so yeah. Um, what else? What came next? Sorry, I got in through You Are Not Lagging, can confirm. Thank you so much. I was really anxious about that. Um, so yeah, let's go back to the temple. I had this just waypoint that I could teleport really quickly to the office chair every time like you guys showed up, and I was like, oh shit, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. This is my oh shit button. It saved me a couple times. I should have brought water. I can't hydrate. I have a Dr. Pepper. Does that count? I'm gonna open a Dr. Pepper. I hope you can hear this. That was loud. Oh god, I think I got water on things. So, baby, why is there a biome line on the map? What are you talking about? Oh, this? I have no idea. It just spawned like this. Dr. Pepper. Love Dr. Pepper. I have no idea why that's there. It just spawned like that. It's cool, but I didn't do it. I don't know who. Oh, it looks so pretty with shaders. I've been really distracted by that all day. Everything costs $3 here. What? Oh, the can costs $3. That's fucked up. I want a $3 Dr. Pepper. Um, so yeah. And then you come back from feeling that longing. And you come back to Artemis's office. Game mode, creative. Um, this is after that. Where does she lead you after that? Oh, Demeter. Right. So again, when I was planning, I was just going through and seeing like what were the key moments of Artemis's life. And Demeter does fit into that. So let's go up here and just show that off. Demeter working with, well, oh, you know what I should do is I should show you the display so that I can show you this. Okay, so working with Demeter. What I was going for here is Artemis feeling like she's doing a good job, being praised by Demeter and learning to respect herself in the forest. This was the planned build. Originally, there was supposed to be a water guiding puzzle. This did not happen specifically because I don't know how to fucking do that. And it wasn't that I didn't know how to make it work command wise. It was that I don't know. It would have been so fucking cool. It really would have been. The only reason it didn't happen is because I don't know how to reverse engineer a puzzle like that. Not Hypixel, Skyblock. What are you talking about? Um, to be fair, it makes sense. Yeah, I couldn't reverse engineer a puzzle in my mind in a way that like you guys could never accidentally get yourself stuck. I tried a couple iterations of it, and a lot more people would have got stuck. Yeah, exactly. I did a couple iterations of it, and every single one, typically it was super easy to solve, so honestly it didn't really matter to me. And also like it just, there was ways to soft lock yourself in the room, and it was just, it was complicated, so I didn't do it. Um, okay, so let's go back. Oops, let's hide that display capture. Oh, that's unfortunate. Our part was to proof it against breaking the puzzle, yeah. Oopsie, I got kicked. My bad. Can I please be let into the server now? Thank you. So yeah, let's go in. There was a couple things. When M and Vamp first tested the room, oh, hello? Can I help you? Thank you. Oh my god. When Em and Vamp first tested the room, we had this problem, which was that, um, the problem was that if you just continued to spam potatoes into this, oh, okay, thank you so much. Um, it would just open and close the door really quickly, and it would like get broken like this. Oopsie. You bitch, go back. Thank you. Um, it would just get stuck like this, where you couldn't get in, but also like, so I had to fix it. But yeah, I really did love this puzzle. This took multiple groups, like multiple visits to this room to just read this book. I felt like I was being really blatant, so I wasn't sure if I was being mean or if I just wasn't paying enough attention. I could have put more to do in this room, maybe. We all read it. Yeah. There was a couple groups that like everyone read it and then just left and didn't do anything with it, so I don't fucking know. Um, but there were these potatoes. What's it called? You take your potatoes. Excuse me. Or your apples if you're me. Activity filler lore and note room relevant. I see. Um, advice for future rooms. Filler lore is a pain in the ass. So typically there's not filler lore. Most things are important. I know that I made a comment to somebody during this quest, and I think it was you, Trickstar. Um, I made a comment to you as Artemis during this quest that is really important. I think it was you. It might have been Storm. So don't go too crazy going over your records. I made an important comment. Oh, okay. Well, that's, is it? I don't know. Maybe. I'm about to bot watch myself. Maybe. I made a comment to somebody during this quest that's really important, but until the end, I don't think anybody will realize what I'm saying there. So it's very exciting for me to look forward to. But yeah, I will not repeat the comment because it will spoil things. So yeah, here's the forest room. Here's the deal with this. I didn't know, I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I didn't know how to make a realistic, like, plains forest biome underground. So I just went up to the top over there and copy pasted some land. That's what this is. This is actually out there in the world. You can go find it. Because I was not about to build it. And then there happened to be, this orange tree was already in it. So I just fucking, I used that, or it's a peach tree or something. What is it? It's an apricot, maybe? Excuse me. What are you? You're an apricot. I've noticed the chat rules don't require being nice to you, the streamer. Well, no, you don't have to be nice to me. You don't have to be nice to me, but, if you're a good person, I think it might come naturally. Anyways, welcome, Boulder, it's good to see you. I missed you. This caused problems one time, because I'm a fucking idiot. So we're gonna go underneath. Boop. Boop. Okay, so welcome to my next command room. Oh god, okay. So, originally, this was 2 hoppers deep because I was trying to layer the redstone in a way that it didn't get fucked up with itself. I did not do that well. and I ended up doing it back and forth so that it didn't do that. These, once you put exactly 5 of each item, because it's mentioned in the book, in these things, it sets off the redstone, and this long chain of, that's for a different thing. This long chain, it's just redstone goes here, and then each of these are just normal blocks that get hard powered. Once you complete the thing, this chain of note blocks goes off, and the door opens. This opens the door. This sets off one of the jukeboxes to play different music. It's this purple box right, or this purple disc right here. And I could not tell you what this one does. I don't know what this one does, actually. I can find out in a second. Anyway. So yeah, this is a super easy puzzle. It was really fun to make. It wasn't too difficult. I used this hopper trick a lot throughout the quest. It's just nice and easy. This I want to talk about because this, I felt so fucking dumb the whole time for this. But here's what this is. Game mode, please let me do what I want to do. Okay. So, this is for the poppies. There is, I lied, a chest back here that does not open until you deal with the poppy buttons, okay? There's 3 buttons in the world. They spawn stuff on this chain, and then once you get all 3, it opens the wall next to the poppies for your poppy quest, right? Here's how I thought people were gonna solve this quest. I thought you guys were gonna solve it by chasing the poppies around the room. That's why there's roses and poppies. Poppies are Demeter's flower, so it was like chasing Demeter around, right? If you stand on the poppies, there's a point near every single poppy where you can see a button. There's roses, so if like you stand on this rose, you can't see it. If you get distracted by them, you'll lose the trail. Nobody did it like that. Everybody just found the buttons, which, like, whatever, I guess. If it works, it works. But that was how it was intended. Sophie loves morphine. I'm telling her that. I really liked this. I almost drowned a couple people. My bad about that, but I'm really glad you guys... Nobody died. I don't think anybody died on this quest, which is strange for me because I'm usually trying to kill people, but whatever. Is it here? It's here. Okay. So, you solve the things. This opens. That's very strange. Okay. So, this room was the one that gave me the most trouble. You died inside. This room gave me the most trouble. Originally, so, okay. Originally, I don't have the old versions of the notes in here, but originally this note... I'm gonna put this here. Can you just make a jump thing again? Yeah, I totally can. Is it broken? Because I can do it right now. Attribute, Ash. Do you want to do it the way... I don't know how to do it the way that... There you go. It should be fixed if you died, if that's what happened. I don't actually know that's the issue. But yeah, so this caused the most problems originally. You were supposed to... The backpack had a sapling and the fertilizer stuff, and you're supposed to make fertilizer and put a sapling in... One sapling, one fertilizer, and then it grew. This sapling did not exist here, and this barrier block wasn't there. This barrier block just keeps the sapling from growing, because that was a problem one time too. That didn't work, so this room caused me the most trouble. This is the one that was supposed to have a water puzzle, like, to lead through the different areas so that everything was wet instead of dry. I couldn't figure that out, so that's unfortunate, but I don't know. It gave me a very, if I'm really honest, I really liked the... Well, see? This is how you reset this, by the way. Again, what I said about all those command blocks being resetting command blocks. There we go. And it just turns everything back to... What's it called when the plants die? And you just get rid of the extra plants. But yeah. In my big pink... What? What? How does it turn back? Okay, so let's go. So there's an observer that when I place a block here, because nobody's ever in anything other than adventure unless you're me. Let me go spectator. It detects... Okay, so this one was a little bit more... It's coded. Gotcha. It's a little more in depth. I thought that was just no, no, no. Um, can you explain NBA terms I can understand? Okay. So basically, this observes you placing or destroying that when you mine it. If you're destroying something, so um, what is this? This is okay. So if me is okay. God damn it, Chiquisman. Okay, so this just sets off a long chain. I think it's this. That's the drought reset. This is this. So this will detect you destroying that stair upstairs. Um, and spawn a long line. It just goes on a long line of things that just layer by layer turn the coarse dirt into fertile land. It still looks like the animation because I've timed it so that it follows the water as it goes, which I thought was really cool. That was fun for me. Um this oh, and then this resets this so that I don't have the issue again. Again, a lot of the command blocks are just resetting. This is also to reset all this redstone that's going on down here. When you place one, it just detects again and you get another signal. Um, that turns everything drought resist. There's no animation with this one. Also, that was cool. Thank you so much. There's no animation with this one. It just happens really quickly because nobody's watching. That's just when I'm resetting. Um, so yeah, it just resets all the things, replaces the dirt, and then I go in and destroy the plants. But yeah, here we have remove ice. Oh, and this is for opening the exit, I think. This also closes the doors upstairs. So that, again, resetting. It was really important to me that this quest reset itself for the most part, because I hate making the mods do that. It's a pain in the ass. So yeah, this is mostly just, the music that plays during these quests are very like it's just whimsical, it's just kind of childlike. It's more like Artemis growing and understanding herself. And then you have this book again. Uh Moonbeam. I made this book, and the first time Jaquizman's, or it wasn't, I don't know, maybe it wasn't Jaquizman. Who was it? It was it was someone on the first group, maybe, who, just started singing that fucking Moonbeam song, and it's like, God damn it. I think it was Maria, actually, now that I think about it. It might have been Maria. Um, and here you get a book about, Apollo, Moonbeam ice cream. Okay. God damn it. And here you get a book about Apollo joining Zeus and Hera. And then when you go into the overlook room, and then when you leave that room, you go back to Artemis. She says, I never joined them. Like, it was just them. When you set, I don't want to set it off right now, but when you go down here, Apollo joins. Did I set him down there? Is he down there right now? I don't know. I don't think I set off those command blocks while I was over there. Oh, no, no. So I did have to place the heads myself. But when you go down there, Apollo is down there with you guys. Um, he again, as you go through the thing, it slowly adds people. This time it adds Apollo. It's just resembling like, hey, now Apollo's down there and it's still somewhere Artemis can't get to. And she spends a lot of time sitting here and watching that, right? Because that's still a thing. Apollo is still down there, or he's still with Zeus and Hera, like he still lives in the royal god village. Um, so yeah, there's that. Um, just the waiting thing again. She's always waiting. She's always watching. I put a lot of clocks here. Um, it had a purpose when I put them here, like a lore purpose, just like a lot of waiting time, spending time in here, I guess. I don't really remember the exact sentence I was thinking when I put them up anymore. But, they're there. Um, and so yeah, once you come out of there, we do Orion. Now, the shrouds that I put up after the Orion quest were such a fucking pain in the ass. Also, I wanted certain things in here to piss people off more than they ended up actually pissing anybody off, but that's fine. Um, this puzzle. Um, I set up this puzzle to just not really work, was the point. The point of this whole room is, well, if I go ahead and I open the display capture, um we're doing Orion's death. Not liking Orion, then growing close with him, and then killing him and grieving. Right? That's the whole thing we're doing here. I didn't understand the puzzles here, not gonna lie. That's so valid. This one was a little bit Orion's death. I planned this one backwards is the problem. I planned the death of Orion that when you shoot the dog, and then I built the rest of it in front of it. Um, so yeah. Um, it's supposed to represent like not liking Orion and then eventually like learning to go close with him and then killing him eventually, right? So it's set into three areas. The first part is where he's just kind of messing up. The dog represents Orion, obviously. It's like that whole like I'm supposed to get this person away and he's staying. There was no way to release that dog. Most all three of the puzzles in the beginning are either annoying because you're like reorganizing things that like should not be disorganized, or trying to fix an arrow rack that won't like will not be fixed, or trying to get rid of a dog that won't go away. Um so that's what's going on in this room. Um, it's supposed to represent the annoyance that she felt when she first met Orion. Um, so you have these, you know, puzzles. Which you have these puzzles. This arrow rack right here, I figured it was gonna irritate people. It doesn't actually work. There's no puzzle here. This um this track that goes around in a circle, it collects the arrows you put in the hoppers and then it just leaves. Like it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't set off any redstone other than like sending the things back out, but they're not connected in a way that, you know, corrects, make sure that the hoppers are correct. I understood the materials one, but not the arrows. Yeah, yeah. The arrows one, the whole point is it's not understandable. He just fucks things up. Um, Let me grab this. Choop, choop. Sorry, hold on, I'm waiting. I just pressed, yeah, you just press button, and no matter what you do, no matter how much thought you put into it, it doesn't work. The point was to make you guys do it over and over and over again and get frustrated until this note and the thing that you need to leave appears. I think that the problem was that I did not make you guys do it enough times. There was never a point where people had, because by the time you realized there was a puzzle at all and not just buttons to press, um, it was already done. I only made you guys do it 3 times. What I should have done was made you guys do it like 10 fucking times because that would have actually frustrated you. I would have put music solved the hopper one too fast. Yeah. Um, there's this letter, my lady Artemis, deepest apologies about the incident with the arrow rack. I didn't mean to destroy it. The point of getting this um is to show you like, hey, there was no way to fix the arrow rack. It's broken and it's Orion's fault. Um so that's that. No, make it 15x. Oh god. Um but yeah. In this one, so the barrels I really liked. Um Everybody got it eventually. You organize these things. So this is food. You find this in the dog one, and then you find in the dog one is like coal or something. What did you find in the dog one? You find a lead, or sorry, no, you find coal in the, I don't know. They're all mixed up, basically. And the last one's just a piece of paper that's saying, there's no lore here, go away. That's so much worse than the mazes. Um, I never saw the supplies because my teammates were too good at video games. Yeah, so basically what happens is, each of these chests is labeled smithing supplies, cooking supplies over there, and the wolf supplies over here. And they're mixed up, but they're mixed up in a way that almost seems right. Like there's a lead with the smithing supplies, which could also be like rope. There's fuel, there's coal in the cooking supplies, which is for the smithing area, but it could also be like fuel for, yeah. It could also be fuel for the stoves. And then in the stoves, there's meat, which is for cooking for humans, but it could also be fed to a dog. And the idea is that he doesn't know what's going on, so he's causing trouble not on purpose. Orion is. And once you do that, I need to do this really quickly. Game mode, creative. Um this barrel sorting. Hold on, I'm trying to find the arrow rack reward. Where the fuck is the goddamn, there's a command block that gives you a letter that tells you what Orion. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Hold on. The note that you get, I'm just gonna get rid of this part and run the command. Oops. Why will you not work? Come here. Humbling idiot boyfriend. Yeah, that's what he is. He's just a little, eventually he does grow closer with the hunters, but this book that you get, right? Lady Artemis, I've gone through the barrels at the campsite and reorganized them. Your hunters should have an easier time finding things. Please advise me if you need anything else. For some reason, the fuel for the stoves was in the smithing storage. Hopefully, things stay in their place this time around. Now, this paragraph right here, if you remember, which most people didn't because most people were just doing the quest, in my mind, I guess I thought people would, I don't know, be fucking weird about it, I guess. Um, the fuel for the stoves was in the smithing storage. The smithing storage is where you put that fuel. You move it back in order to fix it. So the point of this book is like he's fucking things up and he really thinks he's being helpful. Yeah. Um he really does think he's being helpful. He really does think he's being a good little hunter boyfriend, whatever the fuck he is. But he's not quite doing it right. And that's not necessarily his fault. So yeah. Once you get those two things, um thing that's being mentioned, right? Once you get those things, you come in here, and this is more about like learning to work with someone. You guys are separated. Most groups got it. There was one group that accidentally got this, like almost completely before realizing you had to shoot them at the same time. I don't remember which group it was. It was like maybe the last or second to last group. Um, but you do have to shoot the arrows at the same time on either side. It's the same thing. Um, I don't know how they did that. I was really shocked. I wasn't all of a sudden they were like in the other room and I was like, what's going on? um, they were just so in sync. It was crazy. Maybe? I don't remember what group it was. Um, this one's really cool. I like this one a lot. You hit the thing and it sets off the light immediately, right? And that's why it'll flash sometimes. But if you go down here, it will place a redstone block and destroy a redstone block with a really short delay. And basically what happens is while people are shooting, I wish I had people on the server so that I could show you how this works. Didn't make it so it resets if you hit them. No, I didn't want to be mean. I really didn't want to be mean. um, but yeah, I really quickly I need to check. I had the Artemis playlist in the background here. Oh, it's done. Okay, it's just skipped to random music, which is fine. Um, anyway, that would have been mean as fuck. So, yeah, it resets. Once you get them both together, these go off because a redstone block will form here, hard powered to just a normal block. And unless you get them both at the same time, because they disappear so quickly, this doesn't set off. This just adds there, and these don't erase. And then it fills. What does it do? This just I want to say that this just opens up the. As far as I'm concerned, it just opens up this room. Oh. Okay. This is spookier than I remember it being. Whatever. Where does this go? It goes in the wall. Okay. Excuse me. Go away. Okay. This is supposed to be closed all the time until you hit the shot. Obviously this is about, you know, Orion dying. God, that pressure plate. It's not a pressure plate. It's a warp plate. Trickstar Gaming didn't notice this being here. It was a whole thing. But yeah. I love that warp pad. Oh, that looks really cool with what's it called? I have nightmares about that warp plate. I thought it was barrier blocked. No, Trickstar Gaming is just tall as fuck. Trickstar Gaming is just tall as fuck and didn't think to be shorter. Cannot relate. Once you shoot this, the idea of this is that if you don't know what's going on, you don't know. A couple of the groups didn't notice. I know the first group with Illyrial on it, oh, I felt so bad because Illyrial did not own the dog. If I go into running the quest, which let me, show you guys that, what's it called again? If you go into the running the quest document, at setup, you go and I use your guys' user IDs. Like, if you don't know that it's about Apollo killing Orion. I think a couple people knew, obviously Oriana knew because her dad is Apollo. Music knew because, you know, but there were a couple groups that didn't realize that that button was going to kill, that button was going to have consequences, or that quote of like, I bet you can't hit that speck out there was relating to something until it killed the dog. There were a couple groups that really bonded with their dog. There was a couple groups that didn't. I felt really terrible. The first group had Lyriel on it, and Lyriel didn't own the dog. Every single time I had to pick somebody to own the dog so that they could make it stand up and sit down and it would follow you guys. Lyriel didn't own the dog, but yeah, I also thought that. But then I mentioned the Hesperia orchards, the golden apple orchards in the next one, and people didn't really get that one, and so I felt, I don't know, dumb. I was like, oh, I'm being a nerd. Okay, whatever. I knew that. Thank God for Trickstar Gaming. Okay. But yeah. No, it's normal knowledge. Thank you. I thought it was normal knowledge. But whatever. Under the Dionysus room. Sorry, this is the whole setup thing. So this is just everything we do to reset the quest. This is why I needed so many command blocks that reset stuff on their own. Because this is all the shit you have to do without the command blocks that reset it. Oh, chat is showing up twice because this is how I see chat. It doesn't come up on OBS normally, but it does come up on OBS when you're display capturing. So, oh, with Lyriel, oh my god, I felt so fucking bad. Lyriel did not own the dog. Lyriel just really, really liked Beetlejuice. And then when you get that message, let me see if I can get it right now. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Oh, hold on. Should I move maybe? Perhaps. When you press this, you get, bro. Well, Trickstar Gaming, I'm not smart like you. Okay, I'll find a crossbow. This is why I'm scared of using bows in actual canon, because, why would a crossbow be easier? I don't, because I'm actually really bad with the bows in Minecraft, and I don't need people thinking that Artemis can't shoot. I'm a command person, okay? I'm not a... Oh, yeah. I'm so fucking stupid. Anyway, I can just go hit the damn thing. Oh. So, everybody, I would like everybody to meet... This is Hades. Come here, sir. This is Hades. And he serves a very important role. That is a load-bearing frog. Okay? He is important to... That's my Osha dog button. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is Hades. Everybody say hi, Hades. This is... Okay, so in the quest, when you kill the dog, it says in chat, because obviously if you own the dog, it tells you just normally that Beetlejuice died. But it also just, in general, Hades says, Beetlejuice has been welcomed to the underworld, so that everyone knows that Beetlejuice is dead, okay? In order to get this to work, I had to run an execute command, because Hades wasn't going to be on the server all the time, and I wasn't going to change my name to Hades, because that's more commands that's necessary. So execute as the nearest frog, say that sentence. And then, if you know, name that frog Hades, that's who says it. Now, if I have name tag forever, like, let's see. If I have a name tag that names him something else, like your mom, and then I run that command. Why are you not working? Hello? Say it. You bitch! Oh, this is the kill dog command. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. Don't do that. Hey, stop. Whoopsie. Anyway. Oh, chat's off. I'm so fucking stupid. I'm just spamming it into the goddamn... Anyway. Basically, I can get anybody I want to say anything I want them to. It doesn't look exactly right, but it's not necessary. This is Hades. He's very important. I'm gonna rename him Hades. I I love Hades. He stays here because he's important. And I feel really bad because his quality of life isn't great. But that's not my problem. He lives here and he helps with the quest. Oh, here, I'll give him a little more room. So yeah, I needed to kill something that you guys cared about. Can we put Hades in frog therapy? We can absolutely put Hades in frog therapy. I will move him later. Okay. I should clear my inventory. What the fuck is... Okay. Whatever. Let's see. Now that the quest is done, Hades can finally retire. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. What else is there? Quest document. Oh, Orion's death. I wanted you guys to care about what an actor. He deserves an Oscar. He did. He had an amazing role. It was important. And he delivered his line every time without fail. I love that frog. He's a good boy. Now, oh, yeah. So, back in that room, there's also a shit ton of, like, there's a shit ton of command blocks that summon these shrouds. When you leave that room, it's the only time that Artemis is not waiting for you in here. That's because she's in mourning. These are mourning shrouds. Nobody really, like, called them that. That's what I've been calling them since I put them there. But they cover everything except for there's only one big room as well. There's only one big room. There's no more. Well, let me go into the floor. Like, there's no, oh, you can see kind of how everything is connected. There's only one big room. And there's the office and everything. I have commands that spawn the shrouds. They spawn the shrouds after you kill the dog because the temple and Artemis are both in mourning over... Thank you so much. I wanted it to get darker in here, but that was too much for me. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm actually really upset because I could have made it darker in here really, really, literally summoned and unsummoned, yes. I summon in the shrouds and then I get rid of them. It's really not that hard. There's a command that when you summon a stair or when you set block stair, you can specify what direction it's turned. So you just have to do a bunch of arguments until the shrouds look the way you want them to. And then you don't ever touch that command block again because you're scared of breaking it. But yeah, so the shrouds summon. Then there was this thing. Swoop. Only one group actually was able to grab this before they disappeared, so that was funny. You weren't necessarily supposed to. I was scared that it would kill you guys because it's potency 20. I don't know what the limit is for how potent something can be before it kills you, but I do know that if you guys get healed too much, you die, so... whatever about that. So... We get to the Dionysus room after Orion died. Everyone's in mourning. Artemis is mourning. She is not waiting there when you get back. She's fucking sad, okay? Let her be emotional. Let's pull up the thing. Let's go back to the document. Dia's potion. Dionysus created instant death potions. Imagine bringing that into a lore server and then being terrified of it for all season because one of the heroes could just kill you if they wanted to. Could not be me. Would be crazy if I did that. But yeah. People teleport away might be needed to configure each quest. I did. I had to configure this every single quest. Here's the lore drop of Dio having to hand Hades a creative wine every month. But yeah, literally got a guardian dragon drunk for the sake of stealing. Yeah, I know. I thought that was really sweet. That was stuff that we had decided, like, season 1 at one point, me and Dionysus does actually in season 1 go down and give, like, it's mentioned that he... I don't remember where it's mentioned, but in season 1, that's where I got the idea of, like, oh, I should write that down, because at some point, Dionysus is like, yeah, no, I owe Hades a... It's mentioned in season 1 at some point, yes. So yeah. But there's no way I know. I don't think it's mentioned in this particular context, like, we're not super specific about it, but there is a thing where Dionysus is like, hey, I brought you a crate of wine to Hades at some point, at some party. I don't remember where it is. I could not direct you to it. I do know it happened. So yeah. Soft retcon, but still really cool, yeah. Um, so yeah, you summon the things. Um, I don't think a lot of people. So these rooms, you know, you solve everything. You're building this potion. You're putting a lot of care into building these potions, trying to figure out these riddles. You're Dionysus. In this room, you're Dionysus. You're not Artemis, right? Because she's grieving. She's busy. She's away. You're and then you go back to being Artemis when you go into these rooms. These rooms, I made a mistake. They should have been farther away. Because our potion was bugged, I think. No, you know what you did wrong is you didn't do anything wrong. Um, the commands that reset your guys' potion thing, it just wasn't reset correctly. So when you guys put in the correct things, it didn't go right away. I had to go in and like figure out what was wrong, and it really it was really frustrating, but it happens. Yeah. You guys did great. I really felt like Diana's remembering all those potion recipes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um um so these rooms 100% Artemis Quest if possible. These rooms should have been farther away. I wanted you guys to feel isolated and alone. There's I don't know how many. Yeah. I thought about it after the second quest, but because of how everything was set up, the way that you know, like these walls and stuff, most of this resets itself on its own. Um uh, the what is really interesting that I don't think a lot of people noticed, because you guys don't really communicate exactly what you do in here. In this chest, you get a stone sword that can break cobwebs and the fire pits, right? And this is about Artemis being dead and alone. You're gonna recommend that makes people deafened? No, that's what I wished that I could do after I fucked it up, but you know, I can't. I really, really wanted you guys to be like alone when this happened. Couldn't do that. But what I did do is you get the stone sword, right? And it can break cobwebs. The commands that give you the soul shard do not have anything to do, and I will show you guys this, do not have anything to do with the cobwebs being here. You can have cobwebs wherever you want in this room, and as long as you have, what are these things called? As long as you guys have the fire pits in the right place, you're gonna, I'm not in adventure mode, game mode, adventure. Give me my goddamn, oh, you bitches! Whatever, anyway, oh, I can just go into a different room to do it, hold on. Game mode creative. Move. 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 Game mode adventure. Um this soul shard, you need to not be on the pressure. Yeah, the problem was that it makes redstone underneath you. So once you've hit it once, you can't hit it again until it's been reset, and I'm not in the resetting area. Um this soul shard, you get it whether or not you get rid of the cobwebs. This is the same tree in Delos. It's the same tree that represents Artemis. Um the point is, if you sit here and you take care of Artemis, it's easier to walk around. Delos is, sorry, the island that Leto gave birth to. That's just what it's called in Greek mythology. It's the thing downstairs. Yeah. Um if you take care of Artemis and you get rid of these cobwebs for her, she's a little bit nicer during the rest of the quest. If you don't and you just run through it, she's a little colder. It's a really subtle detail. It's not super important, and it really never actually had any effect on how the quest went. Um, but you don't have to get rid of them. You can spend your time being dead, not taking care of her. Um, but yeah, there's just some sort of, a lot of people did not break them if we take care of the temple. I really like that, yeah. A lot of people didn't. Do we make Artemis happier? Yeah, so it's kind of back and forth. If you take care of the temple, it'll make her feel better. If you take care of her, the temple will look prettier. There's dead flowers outside that every once in a while, um, I'm replacing a couple of them. Do we make Artemis happy? I know, Baxter. Stop barking at me. What do you want, boy? Come here. Baxter's gonna sit on my lap for a second now because he is mad. In the tab, real quick. Oh God, what is happening? Oh my. Hi, Baxter. That's hilarious. Everybody is my hunter except for me. I can't change skins. I don't know how to do that. I'm so sorry. Mwah. Okay. Go on now, Baxter. Anyway, sorry. As I was saying, Apollo. Artemis and Apollo just started talking again. I am gonna go around the temple soon, and they are multiplying. I'm gonna go around the temple soon and replace some of the wilted lilies outside with lily lilies. Canonically, both of those are her flower. The way it's covered in ash. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, Jazz. Um, but yeah, so she reflects it reflects her. It's just kind of like a back and forth kind of thing. Um, but yeah, when you get back from being dead, you'll be back because Artemis is back. You guys go through those tunnels again, and Artemis is there, or Athena is there, because Athena does not get back. On my way to become Artemis's gardener. Athena is born after Artemis dies, because she does not know about Orion exactly. That is mentioned in season 2. She doesn't know exactly what the deal is with Orion until they're closer, for the sake of her mental health. This room is just a waiting room. It doesn't really have lore significance. What? What do you mean what? It doesn't have lore significance. It's just in here because I needed to get you guys back together again. Athena is born after Orion. Yes. And here is how you know that. I will show you this. Because our next room is the Zeus room. Oops, I broke that. Whatever. If you go... Actually, this is in season 1 they said this. So let's go here. This is the book from season 1. Vixley got so excited that I had this because when the first group went, Vixley ran. They told me that Rue ran from, just undo the shrouds. Are we breaking in? We're just, Rue told me that they were in the kitchen listening and I was in voice chat and they ran. They like bolted from their kitchen to their computer just so they could ask, are those the fucking books from season 1? They are. They are the books from season 1. In this book, this is Athena, right? And I was so excited because because music was there too. The Huntress has been emotionally, this is misspelled, separated from the general populace by her own accord. Something about the constellation Orion. She doesn't know exactly what, when she is born, is going on with Orion. She just knows, based on rumors, that it has something to do with him. That is, except a lot slower, yeah. In this room, the reason that the other 2 books are here, yeah, no, so yeah, the thing is that I think that they gave her all of the books, but Artemis doesn't remember the other 2 books. She only remembers this one, and it's her temple. So, you know, that's why she doesn't remember it, because the temple is about her and what she remembers and how she sees things. Also, Pete, why is there a light source here? Can I help you? What the fuck? Get out of here. Can I remember this? So yeah, that's why this door, yeah. I realized later, because you guys some are tall and some are shorter, it's easier and harder for certain people to get in here. A couple people saw that you can see it right over if you look, so that's how you know there's a secret area back here. Shout out to Music for also helping me build this room. Everything is just slightly off. Yeah. I tried to replicate. This is the position that the books were in because it's Artemis's memories of exactly Trickstar Gaming. Trickstar Gaming is going to pass the quiz, which there will be at the end of this stream. I love Apollo's part. Apollo's part is amazing. Music helped me with a shit ton of this too. Not the sun being on top. Oh, did you not notice that? Yeah. That is, yeah. This sun was a pain in the ass too. So, but yeah, there are a lot of structural details. So much ham sandwiches. What's really funny is that now, Faye is gonna be like a frat boy fairy. And we base this off like frat boy rooms. I don't care how tall it is, I just hate there's always a bookshelf door every time. It's so evil. Oh, yeah, I had to use it. It was entertaining. Even the tablet, Jesus Christ. Ham sandwiches. There's ham sandwiches in here. There was originally a couple more, I think, but Oh, there's one back there too. Ham, what? Ham sandwiches? Um, each of these rooms represents, you know, the person obviously that it's built of. This is actually a Hera room. Um, I don't know if everybody caught that. Her flower is out. Why is that room dark? Hello? Can I help you? What is happening here? Be polite. Glow, woman. Because it's all he can make because he's a little frat boy, basically. We're just gonna put a light there. Oops. I'm fucking things up. Okay. I think just Zeus and Hera have two similar vibes when it comes to colors. Yeah, that was unfortunately a problem I ran into a couple times. Also, yeah. Um, there is like Hera's flower out here. Um, I tried to make it like as homemakey as I could. You know, she's the goddess of marriage, but she's also the goddess of, yeah, she's also the goddess of uh I forget what it's called, like order within the home, like the order of a house, you know what I mean? So I tried to make it very homey. And then there's Artemis in the corner. Rip. Um but yeah. A lot of people noticed this. People thought it was a puzzle. I felt really bad. No, it's just how Artemis feels. What nobody did notice, homie Assistia, yeah, I was just, I don't know. I was doing my best. Um, this is not all the gods. Originally, I was thinking I'd put all the gods on Olympus. This is all of Zeus's children. So there's Athena and Apollo, obviously, because they're closest to the door, they're the most important. And then you've got Hermes and Ares, and then you've got Dionysus and Artemis. Um, these are Zeus's, the ones that we've decided in canon for our story are Zeus's children. And they're all here. Dionysus does share the darker area with Artemis, as in our thing, he's also lower on the totem pole of power. Baxter, what is wrong, pretty boy? You have everything you need, boy. Um, sorry, he's crying. Um, but yeah, the thing that you summon, let's go summon the weight. Oh, he is what March calls Homer. Summon the weight. Can I get a open Athena door? There is a thing that resets the shrouds. I haven't done it. Baxter, please, sir. Didn't clock the children thing. Yeah. That's the thing, is there's just a lot of little things that make up the thing. Let's go look at the weight. I beg so where the fuck is this man? Hello, Mr. The Weight. Please come back here. I need you. Why is this not working? No, it's specifically the ones that are Zeus's children. Did I lose him? Did he travel somewhere? Excuse me? Apparently I can't summon the weight right now. Don't really know what to do about that situation. But yeah, I do like that he was named the way. I wanted to add a boss bar so it would be easier to see the name, but pretty much, oh, I'm so fucking stupid. Hef is not there. No, because Hef is just Hera's kid. Um, so Hef does not go here. It's probably the spectator thing. Um, but yeah. So yeah, there's the Zeus one. That one's pretty straightforward, you know, all the hidden, I don't think there was anything in here that people didn't notice other than like the sun, the moon. Um, Apollo doesn't have a throne in here. That's not on purpose. If you look behind, you'll notice that this yellow is Apollo's color. This is as close you can get to Hera's peacock color that I felt like, and then Athena's color. Um, that's just, I didn't have room, and so that's why that didn't happen. Um, but music also made the thrones. Shout out music for the thrones. So yeah, these shrouds typically go away on a different way, but I did not go through that. I didn't go through the quest. Although I didn't hit too hard, but it was just persistent. Yeah, exactly. I did also, shout out to like, I think Trickstar, Mushri, Storm maybe was there, or was it River? Yes, exactly. It's a lot easier to feed. Yeah, I had them test the, yes, exactly. I had them test the mob I didn't want it to be too hard. I didn't want it to be too easy. It did down a couple people. Music and Storm and Vamp and Tricks helped me, and Mushri helped me test out the weight. I did make him, I think, a little bit easier at one point, and then after Trickstar Gaming's group, I made it harder. It downed two people. I think it downed it downed two people in one group, I think. I don't remember. I think it was Dilemma's group, maybe? I don't remember. And Jazz was in Dilemma's group. Jazz, did it down people on yours? I don't remember. Um, but like some people went in there without like armor and shit. So I think it downloaded no. It not downloaded. I think it downed somebody who went in without like armor. Um, so yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Let me pull up the display again. Artist feeling, Dias potion, Zeus's pressure, and then of course there's Athena. Now, originally what I wanted, and we'll go back to May 20th, you'll see that there's the garden that has Athena and Artemis in it, and then there's a cracked version of that garden. It's 9A, 9B, 9C. Um and then 2C again is 2 counts for that garden, so it would be, you know, just Apollo, Zeus, and Hera, which is what it is right now. It's just Apollo, Zeus, and Hera because that's who's in the garden in real life right now, or in the metaphorical, in charge of people. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, Cracked Corrupted Garden. I wanted there to be like a bunch of versions of this garden. I wanted it to slowly get corrupted as you went through it. I was thinking there would be a large part of the quest there. Unfortunately, by the time I got to room 7, I was like, this quest is really long. I don't want to make it any longer because I know I'm gonna have issues with scheduling. So that did not happen. But yeah, let's go to. So we have obviously game mode spectator. We have obviously the Royal Garden. Um, and then if you go down, you have this garden. uh, I really like that you can go down into it, but that's just because I didn't have a better place to put it. But they are right on top of each other on the map, so. Um, but yeah, it's exactly the same garden. Yes. Game on. Spectator, please. So if you go through the night sky, you get to the actual garden. And they're literally right on top of each other. Like, it's not, um, they're the exact same garden. They're just colored differently. So yeah. Oh, I want to be in creative mode. Creative. As uh groups went through, I did add a little bit more. That's how we did the lore for this quest. It's everybody gets the same lore, but just the longer the later you go, the more groups that went ahead of you, the more that gets added there. How Athena gives Artemis something that she wanted to have for all of her life, but it's still not the real thing. Yes, exactly. I think Artemis does talk about that pretty freely while you guys are down here, because she follows every group into this room. Um, it's that idea that, when she was king, or when she was, Artemis's right hand, she took Apollo's place, right? Because she took Apollo's power. She worked to do that, right? That was Artemis's thing. She follows every group into this garden. Um, uh she follows every group into this garden, and the first group, like, yeah, the first group, like, for yeah, like, yelled at her, and I was really worried that every group was gonna like yell at her, and I was like, oh god, like, what did I do? I didn't mean to do this. But not every group did. So that was nice. um but yeah, it's the same garden. It's just, it's downstairs. There's no skylight, which I felt to me was the most important part. I always wanted this garden to be underground because the royal garden is completely open to the sun. It never rains, it never does anything. This is underground. It's night, it's darker. It's not it's a little more intimate. Yelling from the toilet while I was pissing. Um but oh, I did. Hey, fun fact, this stays here apparently. I don't know how to replace that right now. So, uh, whoop, sure. If Sun versus Moon again, no. It's more about the fact that, you know, like, this is quieter. This is not, also, this gazebo is not as tall. I did not put it all the way under the ground. I totally could have. I just didn't. There was room for it, but I wanted it to be like, you know, this is not exactly what she wanted, right? Like, the world is different when she's, hello, why is there lava in there? Did anybody else notice that during the quest? Um, I didn't notice. Yeah, because at one point I think Music says, somebody said to Music while Music was on the quest, like, it's the same garden, and Music was like, it's not, it's definitely not, and I found it really funny because Music built it, so Music would know. um, it was me. Yeah, it's a shorter thing. But yeah, for the most part, it is a very similar garden. You will notice I did do something with the flowers. Um, so let's go upstairs. Dude, I've been scammed. It's a different color, Trickstar Gaming. This is bright yellow, and that's blue. And also it's shorter. Um, if you look at, yeah. Um, if you look at these flowers, it's Aphrodite's flower, um Athena's flower, and Artemis's flower. Because that's who was in charge at the time. If you look at these ones, it's Athena, Zeus, Hera, and Apollo. These are the only thing that's different between the two, other than the color change, obviously. Those are the only flowers that are different in this area. Made me notice color. Stop and smell the roses, Trickstar Gaming. Um, this is the only thing that's different, like, flower-wise. For the most part, the flower beds are the same, except the flowers around the gazebo. These are Zeus and Hera. There are no, it's just Artemis and um only half of, oh, don't worry about Apollo. He's struggling right now. Um all of the Zeus flowers have been replaced. All of, who is Peony? Peony is Aphrodite, I think. Right? Yeah. Because Aphrodite's like the water lily and something else. I'm pretty sure it's Aphrodite. I meant for it to be Aphrodite. If it's not Aphrodite, I fucked that up. I think Aph has two flowers. She has that water lily and she has the peonies, I think. Um, but yeah. So yeah, it's very much just exactly as Trickstar said. It's what she wanted, but it's not quite. And that's what she had with the prophet of both pantheons. Yes, exactly. I forget that you guys know those titles because that was just something I threw on the back of the thrones one time during season 1 and it stuck. Also, I'd never seen these pots before, but I did, and so I put them on here because I didn't know they existed. This letter gets longer. Just the pots, I'd never seen that there was a thing where it had 2 pots. That was cool. Oh, the prophet. No. Isn't that what he's called? On the back of the thrones on Olympus in season 1, um, every single one has a separate title. Artemis is the huntress. There's the king and the queen. There was the creator was Hephaestus. The warrior is Ares. All of them have one. I think Aph is the lover or something. But yeah. This letter gets a little bit longer pretty much every time until it's done. Artemis's thing here is just kind of like a very, like, I don't really know what to do now. The ending of the quest is very somber. It's not like, you know, there's a lot going on. Also, I fucked that up, but whatever. Um, it's not like there's no big fight at the end of it because that's not what Artemis got. She got punished in a very casual way. It was very like, you're not allowed to talk to. Were y'all using those out of canon conversations? Don't ever seeing it. No. Oh yeah, no. It was on the back of the thrones at one point. But the end of the quest is very, it's not, there's no big fight. The fight's kind of in the middle. There's not, okay, no, excuse me, there was a big fight at the end of season 2. Well, not, but like where Artemis is now in life, it's not, there's no big enemy. It's just her in her temple, and that's what she's got. You know what I mean? Um, there's no fight, there's no enemy to beat. It's just her. So that's that. This is my wall of command blocks. When the first person leaves, uh, when the first person leaves, it sets off this long wall of command blocks. I love this wall. This is the backside. It literally just resets as much shit as possible so that I don't have to. Yeah, they go like back and forth and up and to the left and up and to the right. It's a big ass fucking wall. Um, but yeah. Um Obviously there's a couple other things. I have all my hunters. This is Ash just moved in, so there's this room is being taken now. Um but yeah. Um Atalanta is canonically she's mentioned a couple times in a couple different places around the quest. Um yeah. Mom's decorated this room I think and probably the other room too. I really didn't know what to do with these rooms. I just knew they needed to get done, and also the hallways, thank God. Uh, because so command blocks are really going to cause lag when they're repeating command blocks. Like my pixels outside that do the barrier, I feel really bad because I know they cause lag a little bit. Not too much because there's not too many of them, but they do cause a bit of lag. Um, the first time I did this, where am I? Where's the exit? Okay. When the shrouds are done, I do get a little confused. Um, I don't know. They don't all happen at the same time. There's no like delay. There's no redstone stuff going off. It's just, run these commands. One-time command chains are not too bad. Yeah. Um, if they do a lot of changing, they are kind of bad. None of these blocks change more than like 5 blocks at a time. And they all do it individually. Like it's not all the exact same time. It's like they're one tick after another, basically. There's no all of those execute on the same tick. No, I think that there's a little bit of a delay. I do know that they happen in order. If they happen at the same, they might happen at the same. I don't want to say that. I don't know. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we can do to test that. Um. We're gonna run execute as we even run TP because I just realized I can't see chat. Okay. Hypothetically, that should work. I don't know if it will. And we're just gonna set it off again. Oh, no, it happens pretty quick. It does happen pretty quick. Oh, there's an animal in there. It does happen pretty quick, so I don't actually know. Um, I don't know. I was scared of it causing lag the first time, but I ran it and it didn't cause any, so I wasn't worried about it. What they really do is just place a couple blocks at the same time. Yeah. Um, they fix everybody's game mode first. They destroy the Delos Tweens. They reset the doors on the inside of the temple in case any of them have been left open. They fix Delos. They do them pretty much in a row. Destroy the farm trees, remove the Orion place buttons, turn off the archery lamps, because those get left on when you do that puzzle. It just fixes doors and stuff. It never really replaces more than 5 things at one time. And I think what causes lag more is the changing and like resaving of. Thank you so much. It took a lot. Like I said, this was my love letter to Artemis. I love this character a lot. Um, yeah, there are definitely things like right now. I don't remember how the shrouds go down. How do the shrouds go down? Oh, I remember how the shrouds go down. I need to go do the Dionysus thing. Click, click. Spectator. Ah, okay. I'm pretty sure this should get rid of the shrouds. Remove the shrouds. Yeah. There we go. That should get rid of them. Yeah. See? Shrouds are gone. So yeah, most of the things in the quest are like that. They fix themselves right after they need to be gone. It fixes itself as you go, it fixes itself at the end, and then everything else that I need to do, what's it called? Display capture. This is the original version. Everything else I like coding, but physical, I feel like. Yeah. Um, Everything else that needs to get fixed is things that this one I could run, but the reason that I can't have a block run this is because you have to replace these first, and replacing a chest full of items is a little more difficult with command blocks. I was struggling with it, so I was just like, we can do this by hand. Um, and that's the saplings and the birth chests. Then there's you close those iron doors afterwards. I could have made it a button that you press at the end, but I really didn't care to. Um, Moving discs from jukeboxes back to hoppers. I also could have automated that. I just didn't really feel like it. Um, Removing items from hoppers was the big thing. There's this one, this one, this one, this one. That's all removing items from hoppers to make that redstone work again. Um, and that happens, what's it called? Uh, that just it's easier to do by hand. There are commands that can run it, but especially when I'm using custom items, it's just a pain in the ass. It's a long command and I didn't want to write them. I did run out of time towards the end. I feel like there were a couple things that I would have done more in depth, especially that last, that mortality room where Artemis was mortal for a while. How much time total vaguely did it take to make all this? I have been planning since the beginning of the season. Well, okay. Um, I started building the ceiling, like 2 weeks after the beginning of the season. I want to say, because I remember music. Do you remember when that happened? Because it was before. Uh, I'm really bad with time. Is the thing, Trickstar? I'm so sorry. I'm awful with it. Um, I want to say it's been a while. These rooms, I had a lot of help too. Let me see. Like it's gotta be like tons of hours, definitely. Good time spent working on the actual thing. I don't know. There was a week where I did nothing but this, and I think Vamp could definitely attest to that. That like every single time I got on my computer, I was like, I need to work on this. I can't do anything else. And that was like crunch week. That was towards the end. But that wasn't everything else. That was just running. That was just writing command blocks. So it took a week of every day getting up, getting on the server and writing in Vanish, writing command blocks in Vanish. And that's just the command blocks. That's just after the buildings were made, after the plans were made. Um, Setting up the redstone. The building took a lot longer. I had help for most of the builds. I had the mods. I actually have, if I can find it before. Let me not do that in front of you guys because I don't want to accidentally open the lore document. Hold on. Google Drive. Um, Artemis quest to do. I had a to-do list towards the end, so there were a couple things that I did get help from. Lottie helped with the hunters rooms. Luce decorated the gardens. Lottie did the hunters doors. Oh, so the hunters rooms, yeah, of course. Lottie did these rooms. That was really, really helpful because I really didn't know what to do on the inside. This is on and tested on the server. Yeah, I did not test any of this outside of the server. Every once in a while, there would be a command that I was worried about, like the killing dogs command. I didn't want to kill anybody's dog on the server, so I jumped into a personal world to like just test that. But it was just like little things like that, things that I was just a little tiny bit worried about, and just like the kill command, basically. Mobs did the temple office doors and the rooms downstairs on the Delos Island. Um, I did have help. The thing is that it wasn't too bad. Mostly building was in world edit. Um, but yeah, I don't know. This couldn't have been. It's building is what took the most time, not the commands. The commands were just tedious, I feel like. It took time, but the building is what took most of the work, and I definitely had a lot of help doing that because I don't know. I'm not the best interior decorator. I can do big buildings like this where it's like, oh, here's the vibe, right? And here's the I've done the entire thing in single player and copied a schematic over with world edit. That would have been smart. I don't really know how schematics work, is what I'm gonna be real about. Also I was just worried about it not fitting too. Like, yes, Baxter, I know, sweetheart. I will be done soon, my baby. Um, is this kind of how all the quests are done? There's a main person doing things and the gods help out with what the main person can't. Hi, Baxter. Baxter, they love you. You've been said hello to 5 times. Um, uh, it a little bit. I think that definitely the ones that I've helped out with. Let me go through. I'm gonna open the lore doc on my phone because I don't want to open it on my computer and get anxious about it. So give me a second to look at something else. Um, I know that Mobs is working really hard on one of the quests right now. Jesus Christ, Baxter, you're scaring me, bro. Um, I don't I don't know how it's been going this season. I've been really, really busy with this. This quest has definitely taken longer than any of the other quests that I know of. Um, I have been kind of checked out of the rest of the quest to focus on this. Now that I'm available, I am gonna try and pay more attention to the other quests that are coming up in the future. I know the next quest isn't really that kind of quest, but you guys will get more information about that on Monday. Um, uh, let me go through and see what's going on down here. Um, but yeah, the person who the quest is about, so like the Hephaestus quests, and last season and the season before that, the Hades quests, the people who the god that the quest is mainly about is like mostly important for it, I want to say. Hold on, I need water. I'm so sorry. Usually responding to heroes versus building the quest. Um, Responding to heroes in what way? Just like day to day responding to heroes? Building the quests takes, I don't know. It's definitely something we do in the background. Um I feel like the gods are mainly responsible for their own quests. But we always help, especially, like the second that I needed help with this, I realized that I was running out of time. I had Finn made a sheet, like lure questions, day-to-day responding, showing up, arranging. I think that definitely takes more time because it's stuff that we all do all of the time. The quest is very like, hey, this is happening, we need to set it up now, and like here's a week or so we work on that, right? Um for this quest, like I don't think that I really ended up needing people until towards the end, and then I had Finn make a Google Sheet like timesheet thing. Shout out to Finn. And then I started making lists of things, just like, hey, here's a couple things need to get done, and gods would just pick them up when they could. Um, so yeah, I will say, yeah, shout out Finn. I will say on the quests that I work on, I typically do. I I have trouble letting go of projects. Like especially this one was super super close to my heart, but like I think that I'm trying to think of the past quests, honestly. I know that we've done like I don't know, season 1 with the Athena quest that was like the dinners. I was pretty hands-on with building that, but that was a smaller building. The Poseidon quest from season 1, that was season 1, right? I think, yeah. I built that one um pretty much from scratch, and then I threw in like, hey, I need gods to come fill the insides of certain rooms because I don't really know what's going on. I think Luce probably did most of the interior decorating on that, but I could be wrong. I don't really remember. Um so it just depends like on who, starts working on it and knows what needs to get done. The quests are pretty planned out most of the time. Um so it's not something that we're never like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like mobs will write the lore document at the very beginning of the season, and then after that it's just kind of like, you know work on it. Right? So yeah, um I think that's it for me. um thank you all so much for being here. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. um Shout out God Team for real. Yes, the God Team is amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys have fun on all of the quests. Um, I will see if I can encourage the other gods to do maybe this. Can I? Yeah, absolutely. I'm super available after Scream. Has anyone predicted the lore correctly yet? Let me open something. Hold on. I'm sharing which screen? I'm sharing the game capture. Okay. Um, any part of it at all? I like the part where you did the command blocks. Thank you. I like that part too. Um, we have a why is it called this? We have a chat typically in the God Discord of where we're scared when you guys figure shit out. So I'm checking that really quickly. Um, let's see. Uh oh, oh Lord, yes, somebody has big said something. I did not see that go through. Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm not reading chat because I'm so distracted trying to. I like the part where symbolize and go brr. I didn't get to focus on a lot when I was running the quest. Yeah. The other thing is it's just a long quest, and not everybody wants to spend that much fucking time going through. Let's stare out the fucking windows of this hallway for an hour and contemplate what it might mean. So yeah. Definitely somebody has said something already that like is the lore, like is what happened, and like I think that it was said mostly in joke. From what I'm reading, can we know who did it or when it happened? I don't know when it happened. I think I don't know if I can say who did it because Pepe, I'm so sorry, Trickstar Gaming. You ask me these questions. I get so much flame for like spoiling lore, but really it's not my fault. It's that I'm an honest and good woman. I'm an honest and good person, and people ask me questions, and I get nervous. I can't be the one that spoils lore this season. Was it a long time ago or within 2 months? That I will tell you. It was within the last. Um, it was not. What month is that? January, February, March, April, May, June. Oh, it was like 3 months ago, maybe. But yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that tracks. Absolutely. So yeah. Um, I think this is where I leave you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so happy that people love this quest. It really made my month. Thank you for streaming and greatly impacting the entire quest. You've spent so much time on it. Thank you so much. Um, bye. Even goodbye. Hypothetically, I should raid someone if there's people live right now. Um. Oh, you know who is live? Again, it was so cool. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys had a very good time. Let me open up Twitch and see who these people are in longer names. Oh, you know who just went live is fucking Maria. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna close this. Can I get yes? So we're gonna raid Maria. Thank you all so much for yeah. Thank you all so much. This has been a lot of fun. I had an amazing time, and I cannot wait to do more quests. This is something I have a lot of fun doing, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. Okay. Goodbye. I hope you all had a good time. Say hi to Maria. Be nice.